In this video, I will be exposing the exact trading strategy that has made me over $200,000 last year, and it's the exact same trading strategy that made me over $21,000 last month alone. Let's get to the strategy. So this strategy is called the liquidity sweep strategy. So first, I'm going to explain liquidity sweeps in baby terms, and then we're going to actually explain it on the chart. Now, you and I are most likely retail traders. We do not have millions and millions of dollars in the market, and so naturally, we should be following in the footsteps of the people who have millions of dollars, right? Banks, institutions, people that are just naturally have millions and millions of dollars to trade with. We don't have that kind of capital. So for us to be able to make money, we have to realize that the people who have $10 million to put into a position, those are the people who are going to actually drive the market and make the market move, right? It's not us. It's not us that are putting $3,000, $5,000 into a position. That's not the people who move the market. So this strategy is entirely revolved around this concept. We want to use these people to our advantage. Now, a liquidity sweep happens when we have some sort of level. For example, support resistance, supply and demand, fibs, VWAP. It could be literally any strategy on the planet that has some sort of level. What we want to do is we want to use this level to our advantage, because what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to take a move at a breakout of that level, right? You probably have done this before. You take a move at a breakout. All of a sudden, this move comes up and flies straight through, right? Ends up going all the way to the downside, faking you out, faking out probably millions of other traders as well. And the reason why this happens is because there is going to be a order placed right here by this guy, the big kahuna, that has $10 million. He is going to place his order right here for a sell, because what he knows is that when you are trading this position, where are you most likely going to put your stop loss? Let's say we take a trade right here. We take a short trade because we know this is probably going to bounce right off. It's support and resistance, right? We're probably going to bounce right off of this. Well, what tends to happen is we come straight up here, and what ends up happening? Your stop loss gets hit, right? You end up losing 20%, 30%, whatever it may be. What ends up happening right after that? This thing tanks straight after. It's because these guys place their orders right where your stop loss is. So from now on, you are not going to just take a position because we're at a level, right? Because we know that your stop loss is most likely right where someone else is going to enter, and that person that enters is going to have millions of dollars, and it's going to absolutely wipe your position out. Very, very simple. So let's explain it on the charts now. So one thing is we have a 598 level right here on SPY. Very, very important level. Now, if we pay attention, there's a lot of supply and demand here. If you don't know what supply and demand is, well, we have a lot of liquidity resting in this area. As you can see, every time we've touched it, we bounced off. Touched it, bounced off. Touched it, bounced off, right? So that means that there's a lot of people resting in that area. Now, we also have some demand down here as well. Every time we've come down there, we've bounced off and continued to the other direction. So we know that we have supply and demand. In this scenario, guys, I'm using supply and demand, but you could literally use this with almost every single strategy, because institutions and banks are going to place their entries on the other point of your stop loss. It happens so often. So typically what is going to happen is you're coming up to this level right here. Fantastic. You're going to put in a short order. Awesome. This short order, you have a stop loss over $599.50, because you know that if this comes all the way up to $599.50, you're most likely going to get stopped out, and it's going to continue running by you, right? Well, what's going to happen next is we're going to have an immediate gap down at market open, and then this thing ends up flying straight back down. So if you were trading this pre-market, let's say you were trading on ES, this can happen to you very, very frequently. So if you're trading ES pre-market, this is a very, very good example of how you can get absolutely destroyed by this. Now we're going to use this liquidity sweep to our advantage, and we're going to enter to the downside, because we already know that people have placed their entries right here. And so we're going to ride the wave with them to the downside. The first step, what needs to happen is we need to see this position come all the way up and have a really, really big move. Then what needs to happen is this really big move needs to get invalidated fast. So if we have somebody with $10 million, or we have 10 people with $1 million get into a position, what's going to happen is it's a very, very quick drop, right? It's not going to be like this drop that's, oh, we're coming back down, we're going to make our way back. No, it's a huge drop, right? Because what's happening? Well, they have so much money that they're just making this thing move. They're manipulating the market. And we like to say that shouldn't be legal, but they do it anyways, because that's just how they are, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to wait to see what happens. Does this candle right here get invalidated within the next 5 to 10 minutes? Well, what happens is we have this candle come all the way up. All of this gets invalidated within 5 minutes. That shows we have got a liquidity grab or a liquidity sweep happening right there. Now we need to look to find an entry. Fantastic. So we already know we have the liquidity sweep. What we need to do now is find our entry. The way that we do that is first, when we break out of that supply, we then need to see a retest of that supply, okay? So here we technically have a retest, but I want to see a green candle. All right, now this next candle, we come up, we have a retest. Beautiful. The next thing I'd want to see is a break in lows. If I can get a break in lows, then that would pretty much identify an entry for me. And I'd probably want to put my stop loss over this 598, or if you want to be a little bit more risky, put it above the order block or supply or whatever strategy you're using, be support and resistance, whatever it is. And so the next candle has to come down and break lows. What ends up happening? We don't see a low break. So we're going to move this up to the next candle and we're going to see if we can break lows here. The moment that this next candle comes through, we still don't see a break in lows. So this next candle that comes off, we end up seeing that break in lows. So we will have our entry right here. When we break that low, we then have our entry. This is showing that we came up, grabbed liquidity, retested the level, and are now looking to continue to the downside. Perfect entry. Now what will happen is we'll just ride the position out and see what ends up happening the moment that the market opens and ends up slamming our target all the way to the next demand zone. So this is how you actually trade a liquidity sweep. I want you to use this video and just duplicate it yourself. Find every single position you possibly can with this liquidity sweep. It will change your trading forever. And speaking of changing your trading forever, I am personally taking 20 of the people that are watching this video right now, taking you under my wing, hands-on lessons every single day with you, all the way to the point where you can get to at least 5 figures per month as a trader. I've done this with over 400 traders now, so if you genuinely feel like you're stuck, you need help, or you're struggling to even understand the concept of trading to begin with, well then apply to join SOA down below, my one-on-one mentorship program. I promise you, we will absolutely change the game of trading for you. First link in the description. I will see you guys all next week. Adios, everybody. Goodbye. Much love. Let's go. Oh, also, there's a video that's popping up on the screen right now that's giving you the actual strategy that I use these liquidity sweeps with. So as you can see, like we use the supply and demand here. This is my actual order block strategy. So it will be 100% applied to this liquidity sweep concept. So watch that video. It's popping up on the screen right now. And later.